I'm Tina Touli and I'm a graphic communication designer and creative director, and I'm based here in London in UK. I'm originally from Greece, but I moved here like 5-6 years ago. And I'm working quite a variety of design fields, both like digital and print design. And it includes like different applications from like typography or editorial design, moving image, animation, 3D, so all kind of like different fields. And that's actually what excites me the most. It's quite challenging and quite nice to have a variety of projects to work on. In quite a lot of projects, especially when I'm working with the physical world, I have like an idea and I'm starting with, and it really ends up being something totally different. Like the What About Water like project that started with an exploration with two of my friends, like Jacob Ritt and Stella Wang, that we started playing with gasoline, and we wanted to drop this kind of like reflection that you see of the rainbow colors on the road. So we started playing with that, and it didn't really work out. So we started playing like with inks, mixing them with gasoline and other stuff, and we found quite interesting results. So it's sometimes, it happens like that it doesn't go the way you planned it, but there is always, if you look at it again, another way out, something like a way to actually make it work. And have a kind of like a plan to follow, at least to start with, because you sometimes also don't know where you're gonna end up. So every time that I have a new project, I like it to be totally different from the one before. So that's for sure a thing that I intend to do and I want to keep doing. So every time I want to challenge myself to learn like new techniques, new skills, and not just recreating something that I did something similar before. Just moving like step by step and see like where things are gonna get you to. Usually like the clients are coming and they're like, oh, we showed this project that we loved and we would love like something similar. And so they will like usually point you onto like specific like projects and bits, or they will like have an overall like idea of what they like in the portfolio. So they will come to you and say, oh, we love like that these projects are like black and white and how like strong the contrast is, or we love the colors on this one, or the typography. So the client is kind of guiding you on what they liked and what they expect from you. From quite like fashion sport brands, it's coming quite a lot, the What About Water project, that they're really interested like in the distortions and the typography. So that is like a project that quite a lot of people mentioned. And the other would be probably the Athens Digital Art Festival. That is again like kind of like distorting the city and the landscape. And yeah, the subject was singularity now, so it was all about like what's going to happen in the future. We don't really know, so presenting something that nobody knows if it's something good or bad. Another thing that I'm doing in parallel with my practice with designing is teaching at UAL at Central St. Martin's, and I'm doing the digital illustration online short course, which is quite interesting as well because it gives me like a break from actual working and creating things and get the time like to exchange knowledge with the students who never touched before design, like how they approach it, what are their concerns, and the way of thinking is sometimes like quite exciting and quite nice to consider. Before I came like to the design field, I used to be a musician, and the reason why I quit it was because I was quite shy to play music in front of people. So I kind of didn't really like to be in front of people, to like talk to a camera or anything like that. But then, especially when I started teaching the online course at UAL, it became just like kind of like a habit. It's like, okay, it's just feel like talking to a friend or to nobody sometimes. Education came like, it wasn't something that I really expected, and it was quite a challenging thing, like something that I never did before. So I was like, yeah, let's try it. Adobe approached me when I was almost like finishing the university, doing my master's degree at that point, to take part on the Adobe Creative Jam in London. And it was a competition, like he had to design something, I think it was in 2 hours or 3, something like that, to come up with a design like outcome using at that point like the apps for like tablet. They challenged us to come up with kind of like anything we liked. So I did like a poster that it was combining like parts of the letters that you couldn't really see each of them separately, but they were like all kind of mixed together, so a beautiful group of letters. I had the honor to be the winner on that competition, and then they came back to me to talk on one of the Adobe Creative meetups in London, and then on the live stream and so on, it started like rolling and collaborating and do like a few bits here and there with them. The most like difficult part was to deal with time, because when you're doing so many things at the same time, usually time passes so quickly that you realize like, oh, I'm almost done and I just started designing. So it's a challenge to actually keep track of your time and make sure that you're checking what time is it, how long do you still have, so you can actually manage to get your outcome till like a point for the next session, for the next day of the live stream. Having my friends sometimes as audience to tell me like how they feel, like if they got it, if they understood everything. And it's also really important to know every time that your audience doesn't know anything about you, so you have to explain everything from the very beginning. Start always like saying like a general kind of sentence describing what you're going to be talking about, and then go in detail about everything, so they get like the subject in the beginning. And also like when you have your friends as your audience or something, you have to like know that if they say that everything is okay, it's definitely not. So you have to make sure that they will be honest with you and tell you like what to actually correct, because it can never be perfect. I'm quite keen lately on like AR and VR. That's like a field that I didn't like really explore yet. I just started like touching like bits here and there. And also like installations, like interactive installation is like a field that I didn't explore that much as well, and it's quite interesting to further explore. So more kind of like technology, like developments and new materials that they are available is what kind of like attracts me to try more of. And also from the point of like the physical world, I quite like to like try new materials and new stuff, so I already like got a box with new bits that I need to try in my free time and see like where I can get to, so any kind of like new combinations and new outcomes. So that's another field that I want to explore further.